Howdy legends, it's everyone's favorite professional Apex Legends caster and analyst Zephyr here, back for another video. Now there has been a major shakeup in the Season 16 Legends meta, so let's run through our early tier list for Season 16. Now this is tailored towards players in the lower half of the ranked system, bronze, silver, and gold, so bear that in mind. But before we jump into that, our question of the day. Which historic LTM would you want to add into the mixtape playlist? Let's get a disclaimer out there. The legend balance in Apex is getting a lot better, and even D-tier legends are useful and you can still find success on them. However, some legends will always be more powerful than others, and these legends are just outclassed by others. Lifeline got a couple of buffs in Season 16's patch. Her care package drops significantly faster, and you're now slowed less when starting a drone revive. However, she just simply isn't powerful enough to be recommended. A major reason for this is that her kit is only useful when you're already at a major disadvantage because a teammate is knocked. Even the new class buff, allowing her to craft expired banners, is still only useful when your teammates are dead. There are better options for protecting your teammates than Lifeline. Look, okay, he got a buff. The 3-second cloak, though, isn't really a game changer. The short-term scan when a decoy is shot sounds like it would be a big buff, but how useful has the Maggie scan on damage actually been? Plus, people might be a lot more cautious to shoot your decoys when this is added into the game. Another factor is that Mirage is complicated to execute right. For players at this elo level, there's a lot more easy power available. Look, Rev just sucks, okay? Don't play him, maybe even delete him. There is apparently a Rev rework on the horizon, so we shall see how Respawn addresses the worst legend in the game. Looking for a leg up in Apex? ProGuides has everything you need to supercharge your gameplay to the next level. From detailed in-game knowledge and guides to specialist coaches, whatever your gameplay needs, we've got you covered. Why not sit down with an Apex Predator and get direct feedback on your gameplay? Perhaps ask them for their tips and tricks on how to reach the next rank in Apex. Check out the link in the description and let's go. C-tier legends are alright. Useful, especially if you're not very comfortable with their abilities. There are better and more powerful alternatives, but it's not like you'll struggle on these legends because of what they have. Ashe is one of the legends to benefit from the super powerful new assault class, which adds some really powerful new perks. However, it just isn't enough to push her above C tier. Her phase breach is short and easily tracked, her tether is super slow to fly, and her passive is, well, just alright. But it can also be difficult to interpret and benefit from some of that information if you aren't a super experienced player. We had Bloodhound in S tier this time last season. However, they've received some major nerfs in Season 16. The new White Raven mechanic is clunky and seems hard to follow. Then, the Beast of the Hunt ultimate loses the super fast scans. Being able to spam those scans is what made Bloodhound so powerful in fights. The new Recon Beacon Scan passive is a bonus too, but Bloodhound has just lost so much power. Even their scan was nerfed to just 1 second as an outline, and then 2 seconds with just a marker. Fuse got a slight buff thanks to the new Assault class. Holding that extra click of ammo could make space in your backpack for even more grenades. But using his kit correctly is still difficult. So many times do you see Fuse players take so much damage to their own kit. Sometimes he just isn't worth the risk. Newcastle suffers from some of the same issues as Lifeline, but he does still have some more positive abilities. However, he is hard countered by some of the most popular legends. Maggie, any grenades, Gibraltar, Caustic, Bangalore can all cause major issues for Newcastle. If you master the castle, you can find great success, but the skill ceiling is high, and it can literally just take one well-thrown grenade and your castle wall can be bypassed. Vantage is really going to benefit from the new Recon passive. She can take powerful positions based on the information from that scan. Her movement ability is pretty weak, and while you could argue that she's a very balanced legend, she's just outclassed by other options. Her sniper is hard to use in comparison to most ultimates, so it's hard to justify putting Vantage any higher up on this tier list. Now that Watson can scan beacons, she's a great choice for playing zone and setting up. However, that really doesn't apply to the lower ranks and pub lobbies. If this was ALGS tier list, you'd struggle to put Watson outside of S or A tier. But as we all know, the game plays out so differently at this level. Defensive capability is just not that useful, so Watson is lacking. She doesn't have any real aggressive power and therefore sits in C tier. B tier legends are good, solid kit, and solid power that when mastered can really give you a boost in your ranked games. However, if you're looking for a super broken power, look elsewhere. Unlike Watson, Catalyst does have some good aggressive power. Her wall can be used to walk up on a team, rotate past them, or to back away. Her traps can be thrown significantly, and her doors can be quickly removed to burst out and surprise a team at a second's notice. It can be situational as to when some of these things work, hence the B tier. But after nerfs to scan legends, Catalyst loses a little bit of shine as she was designed to counter Seer and Bloodhound. The Gas Daddy fits in the exact same bracket as Catalyst. A great choice for bunkering up, has some aggressive power unlike Watson, but is situational. On World's Edge, Caustic is probably A tier at any elo level, but we have to consider all three of the maps in rotation this season. His ultimate can clear out any building, and the gas traps can also be used slightly aggressively. His huge hitbox can make him punishing on rotate, and therefore there are much easier to use and more forgiving choices. Honestly, this might be too low for Crypto. Sure, he's hard to use and you do need some coordination, especially if you are solo queue. A lot of the information he can gather is lost without team comms. His EMP is powerful when used right, but the biggest buff for Crypto this season is the new modified survey beacon. Sure, it is a benefit for all legends in the Recon class, but Crypto being able to scan survey beacons remotely means that he can access that information so easily. A Crypto map room-esque scan for 30 seconds as often as you want, without taking the risk of walking to a beacon. That is huge. Good old Gibby has suffered in this meta. He can be punishing to use at times, and the hard counter by Maggie is what keeps him in B tier. The Bubble, Maggie's aside, is a strong and flexible ability that can be both forgiving defensively and enable you to push in an aggressive way. Gibraltar is also made stronger when shotguns are made stronger, which keeps him in the B tier. No offense to Horizon mains, but we finally get a nerf to this legend. No more easy one clips from inside the gravity lift thanks to an increasing aim penalty as you ascend into the air. She is still powerful. Repositioning is a powerful tool at all times, and the black hole can still do some big damage. She loses though some of that pure aggressive power, so that slides her down into the B tier. A bit deja vu here. Rampart is perfectly paired with the likes of Catalyst and Caustic as defensive legends who have some offensive power. Her Sheila is a bit of a coin flip. When used right, it is insanely powerful, but the super slow strafe speed can add in a lot of risk. Players can be so easily caught out by the spin up time and major movement penalty, so use this beast wisely. Another legend we were desperate to see nerfed. Seer has been hit pretty hard and falls down a tier. The exhibit will still be strong, and perma wall hacks are always powerful, and the cooldown is still fairly short. If you have an ultimate accelerant, then you won't even notice the change. He still has a very powerful cancel ability that when used right can turn any fight. Just make sure you master when to use his abilities. A-tier legends have some really strong abilities and can really make an impact on your gameplay. They aren't broken, but are very strong and easy to master, making them a great choice for players at this elo level. Loba is so strong at the lower elos because she makes looting so easy. If you're only comfortable with a few weapons, Loba means you can always find them. You can access heals and grenades so much easier, as well as always picking up the ammo you need. She gets a buff thanks to the introduction of crafting your teammates' banners. Loba is a great legend to reset. Her black market can let recently revived players grab weapons and ammo safely, meaning they don't have to run around lootless until they can find a death box. Maggie might be a surprise inclusion here. she's always been fairly unpopular. However, when shotguns get buffed, Maggie gets buffed. The new assault class makes Maggie additionally powerful as well, and she can really deal big damage if you use her abilities right. The drill cooldown is kinda insane, and the ball goes super far. Do give Maggie a go, her cooldowns are super forgiving. Octane will always rank highly in a lowered elo tier list. His abilities are fun and easy to use and have power and can help turn the tide in your fights. There really isn't much more to say about Octane. Our boy might be back. Kinda. In the lower elos, the new zipline speed is actually going to be really powerful against players with slightly weaker tracking skills. The new max distance will allow you to move around the map very quickly. Plus, that grapple, once mastered, is a great ability to close distances or escape from sticky situations very quickly. Just keep in mind that large hitbox. These legends are the best of the best. Super strong abilities that can really make an impact on your game, and as a bonus, we think these 3 legends work well together too. The era of Bangalore is here. She gets that buff from the introduction of the reworked assault class perks, but her biggest benefit is the huge nerf to scan legends. The smokes are so much more powerful after the changes to Bloodhound and to Seer. This could finally be Bangalore's time to shine. We've seen how she can be both used aggressively and defensively, and the buff to some of the SMGs in recent seasons, when combined with the Digi Scope, is another huge buff to Bangalore. All hail Shiv and the Bangaloreans. Even though Valk can't hit scan beacons anymore, that isn't really why she was so powerful, and she has not had any other changes. So, she's still one of the best and most balanced legends in the game. She has it all. Escape ability? Check. Damage dealing ability? Check. Movement? Check. Master this legend. Wraith has always been a good legend in the lower elos because her abilities are so easy to understand and they can help you get out of some sticky situations. But her main area of weakness was the portal. As Apex has evolved, the maps have gotten bigger and bigger. Her portal distance was just left lacking as a result. But Respawn have finally addressed this. Now with a doubled portal length and increased speed while portaling, Wraith is back at the top tier. That portal speed and the distance will allow you to play aggressive, but also use the ability to escape. Don't forget, you get an instant phase when you're portaling, so it can be a great way to move. That concludes our early Season 16 tier list. Come back later for our higher elo tier list as we see how the meta shakes out for the following huge shifts. Catch you next time, legends!